Hey there, Keyforgers. This is Andrew giving you another Keyforge deck reveal and review. This is going to be a Worlds Collide deck that I got today as a prize from my local game store. It's not one that I earned today, as I did pretty poorly in the sealed event today. Got 2-2, but was definitely solidly in the bottom half. Had a pretty rough deck, and yeah. The last game I played was really, you could compare to like a reversal game almost. And I think a bunch of other people also got pretty bad decks. And I got to play with most of them. So yeah, that was rough, but had a fun time and great people there. And this was owed me from a few weeks ago. So glad I got to pick this up afterward, and a little bit of a consolation prize. So this is Unavailable Knapsack Larongar, and I happen to notice and see that this is Star Alliance. I guess based on Knapsack, I'll guess that it has shadows. Maybe Dees. We'll see here. Wow, I got Dees right, but not shadows. That's an Untamed, and this could be an interesting setup here. With Star Alliance, I'm looking for ways to accelerate my deck and maybe have some board state that I can maintain, and then in Dees I'm looking for ways to mess with my opponent. I feel like the Dees in Worlds Collide, the average is quite a bit worse than it was in Coda or even AOA, but it can have pretty good stuff, and if you can accelerate fast enough to be able to get access to it, then it can be good. And then Untamed, I'm looking for ways to accelerate my forging and hopefully leverage my board state that I am hopefully able to build here. But I don't expect to have board dominance with any of these, and really it's going to be about speed and maybe slowing my opponent's deck down a little bit. Yeah, so let's get into it. We'll start with Dees, and we have a Buzzle. That's a 3-power beast with Skirmish and Play Fight. You may purge one of Buzzle's neighbors. If you do, ready Buzzle. Okay, well, this is interesting. Sometimes this can help. It definitely can start to thin out my deck. Dendrix is a 5-power demon with Fight. Your opponent discards a random card from their hand. 2 of those. That gives us some decent board presence. Harbinger of Doom. Okay, I don't mind having one of these. I'm leery of having more than one. It is great art, but the problem with it as board control is that it's not really predictable board control. So it's a 2-power demon with 3 armor, and when it's destroyed, you destroy each creature. But you know that your opponent can trigger that on their turn. You can trigger it on yours, and I find that usually, if I'm triggering it on mine, it's difficult to maneuver into a great situation. It's best if we get some cards that can like maybe pop it right away, or maybe a zap even. Okay, Infernus is a 4-power demon with Play. Purge up to 2 cards from a discard pile, and your opponent loses amber equal to the total amber bonus of the purge cards. That's great. Rotgrub gives us a little more amber control. It's a 1-power beast with Play. Your opponent loses 1, and Reap. Archive the Rotgrub. Evil Eye is an action with a bonus amber that makes keys cost +3 during the opponent's next turn. That can be quite good. 2 of those. Ooh, I don't mind that at all. And then we have Bornit, who's a 3-power demon with Reap. Reveal the top 5 cards of a player's deck and purge a card revealed this way. Shuffle the other revealed cards into that deck. So yeah, there's an action version of this, Bornit's Touch, but this is the creature version that it happens every time it reaps. Ooh, we got the action too, Bornit's Touch. So the same effect really. Reveal the top 5 cards of a player's deck, purge a card revealed this way, shuffle the other revealed cards into that deck. But it's just an action with a bonus amber. Now, these 2 potentially give us ways to purge out of our opponent's deck, and then Infernus lets us purge from their discard pile, so we can really get them both ways. Yeah, and that's not bad. I like being able to do that. Oh, and then this is great. We have an Eye on the Fringes, which is a 1-power imp with Elusive. And it says, during your turn, after you discard a Dees card from your hand, you may purge a Dees card from a discard pile. If you do, steal an amber. Now, if your opponent has Dees cards in their discard pile, then you can discard yours to purge theirs. But it doesn't it's not bad to purge your own too, right? Maybe we purge the Harbinger, we purge Buzzle, Dendrix. I might want to keep around the Bornit's Touch and the Evil Eyes. But it just depends on the situation. And maybe it's better, in the moment to discard Evil Eye and purge Rock Grub to get a steal than to, than to actually play the Evil Eye. It just depends on the situation. Ooh, and then we have Snaglet, who's a 2-power imp with elusive. And as an action, Snaglet lets you choose a house, and if your opponent chooses that house as their active house on their next turn, you steal 2 amber. And I got this in my sealed deck today, along with 2 copies of Snag, and that is a cool combo. It just didn't have enough control to really use it effectively, but if you could get that consistently, it would be pretty oppressive to be able to tell your opponent which house to pick every turn and then steal 2 as soon as they do. Chief Engineer Walls. Okay, we're in Star Alliance territory now. Chief Engineer Walls is a 2-power human with elusive... Oh, sorry, I'm just going to back up real quick and say, anytime you have a card like Eye on the Fringes, the interesting thing here is, let's say we purge all but the Evil Eyes and Bornit's Touch, right, to get those steals. Well, we've now reduced to not having very many Beast cards in the deck, which means now our Star Alliance and Untamed are going to move very fast. So this can actually be a way of accelerating your deck. And you really shouldn't be scared to do these types of purges. Okay, having said that, Chief Engineer Walls is a 2-power human with elusive, and it has Play, Fight, Reap. You may return an upgrade or robot card from your discard pile to your hand, and we'll see what we get in the terms of upgrades and robots. We get Cloaking Dongle, which is an upgrade with a bonus amber, and it gives this creature and its neighbors elusive. Cool. Calm Officer Kirby is a 3-power human with Play, Fight, Reap. You may play a non-Star Alliance card, artifact, upgrade, or action card this turn. Nice. Anything but a creature. So, our Evil Eyes, our Bornit's Touch, those are fair game. And who knows what we get in Untamed. Explo Rover is a 3-power robot, has Skirmish, and it can also be played as an upgrade instead of a creature, and then it gives the thing it's attached to Skirmish. Wouldn't mind having this on, say, Dendrix, or even Calm Officer Kirby, or First Officer Frame, who's a 4-power human with Play, Fight, Reap. A friendly creature captures an amber. With 2 Frames, that's great. A Lieutenant Kirkar, who's a 5-power alien and hand-to-hand with Taunt and Hazardous 3. And this is great for protecting your smaller stuff, maybe Kirby, maybe Eye on the Fringes, maybe the Bornit. Yeah, not bad. Maybe even the Frames. 2 Kirkars, that's great. The nice thing about this is by the time something's hit it, smaller stuff can't even hit it. So like a Buzzle trying to attack a Lieutenant Kirkar is just going to get killed by the Hazardous before it can even hit it. And even something like, let's say you have like a 7-power creature, it's gonna take that Hazardous 3 and then the 5, and it'll end up dead. So it really does good work. Then we have Red Alert, which is an action. When you play it, if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, you deal damage to each enemy creature equal to the difference. So if you're a little behind on board, say you have a smaller board, this is a great way to wipe the opponent potentially. Then we have Stealth Mode, which is an action with a bonus amber. After you play it, your opponent cannot play action cards during the next turn. That's a great effect. And Navigator Ali is a 3-power human with Play, Fight, Reap. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. We have one more. I wouldn't mind if we got like a Book of IEQ. That'd be super cool. But no, it's okay. We got Stunner, which is an upgrade with a bonus amber, and it gives the creature Fight, Reap. You may stun a creature. So we have a few targets for the walls. Stunner, Cloaking Dongle, and Explo River. On to Untamed. Bramble Lynx is a 3-power beast with Skirmish, and if you've used a creature to reap this turn, Bramble Lynx enters play ready. We're really best off if we get like a Ghost Hawk to go with this. I just worry about Untamed creatures maintaining enough board presence to actually reap before the Bramble Lynx would want to come out. Deepwood Druid is a 3-power elf and witch with Deploy and Play, Reap, Fully Heal a neighboring creature. Harmonia is a 2-power human witch with elusive, and after you play a creature, which includes herself, if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, gain an amber. Key charge could be good. It's an action. When you play it, you lose an amber, and if you do, you may forge a key at current cost. Rusnar is a 4-power beast and insect with fight. Destroy an artifact. If that artifact had a bonus amber, you gain that much amber. Okay. Potentially good. This wouldn't be bad to have the Explorer on. Wouldn't mind that at all. Song of the Wild is an action. When you play it for the remainder of the turn, each friendly creature gains Reap, gain 1. If you have board state, this is a good way to really use it to your advantage. But, I don't know. These are not big creatures. Low Dawn, oh, this is a way to take advantage of not having board state. It's an action with a bonus amber, and when you play it, if there are 3 or more untamed creatures in your discard pile, gain 2 amber, and shuffle each untamed creature from your discard pile into your deck. By the way, some of these are decent targets for the Kirby, right? If you use the Kirby, play it, or Reap with it, and then play Key Charge on the right turn, or Song of the Wild before you Reap with a bunch of other creatures, or even Low Dawn, those are good options. 2 Low Dawns, not bad. Oh, a Mimicry, that's great. So Mimicry is an action. When you play it, you treat it as a copy of an action card in your opponent's discard pile. So whatever, is their action that will be most helpful to you right now, that's what it is. And you can play that with Kirby as well. Curiosity is an action with a bonus amber. After you play it, you destroy each scientist creature. And I wonder, did we get any scientists yet? I think we might have gotten some in Star Alliance, but I'm not sure. None of those. Maybe walls? No, not even walls. What about Indies? Yeah, no scientists. So this is probably pretty good. And very good hate against Logos, so I like it. Eldest Bear is the leader in Untamed. It's a 5-power beast, leader, and witch with assault 3, and while it's in the center of your battle line, it gains before fight, gain 2 amber. Wow, that's pretty great if it's in the center of your battle line. Even not, if not, it's it's a big creature with assault 3, which is nice. But you throw this in the center of the battle line, and you have a really good setup. If you put the Explo River on it, then it can deal 8 damage without taking any. And the assault, if you have the skirmish on it, so it's like assault 3 and then 5 power with skirmish, that assault 3 can remove wards before the 5 hits. So good potential options there. And lastly, we have a Piranha Monkeys, and this actually is this is interesting. It's a 2-power beast with play Reap, deal 2 damage to each other creature, and that is a little sad because you might kill some of your own stuff, although there's not much in here that's going to be immediately killed by it. There's a few things, but it's probably okay. But this is a great way to just remove all the wards in the game, right? When you do this, there are no more wards at the end, so that could be pretty useful. Let's take a look back at what we have in the way of Amber gain. This is 3, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9, so that's not a ton, but the Mimicry probably is going to get us 1. The Low Dawns might get us up to 3 each. We hope Song of the Wild gets us 1 or 2. Harmonia might get us some. Eldest Bear, if we're lucky, will get us some. Let's see. Walls could get us something. Eye on the Fringes, we hopefully get some steel in. Maybe even some steel with Snaglet as well. And, with the Rot Grub and the Infernus, along with the Evil Eyes, we're hoping to deny our opponents some Amber and or Forging opportunities. So, a little bit of Amber control, and they're not a ton. And Mimicry is going to give us quite a bit of flexibility. So if I'm playing this, what I'm hoping to do is get a little bit of a foothold on the board. That's going to be the biggest struggle. But really I want to set up for, I'd like to set up for a power Deece turn where I play Eye on the Fringes and then discard a bunch. And I'm hoping to kind of establish a little bit of a board state with the cloaking dongle, maybe on a cart car, protecting some stuff, and have a red alert in my pocket to deal with my opponent getting ahead. Yeah, and I think there's some decent chances here for this stuff to work out. I mean, if you have some creatures on the board and use Song of the Wild, then Key Charge has a good chance at doing good work. And if we're in Untamed, we have a good chance at like getting 3 with Low Dawn before doing a Key Charge, which could be pretty good as well. We're probably not going to get 3 off of each of the Low Dawns, although if we get them in really the right order, we could. We have enough creatures. It's, you know, feasible. It's possible to imagine getting 3 with 1 Low Dawn and then 3 with the other if it comes later on in the game, but I wouldn't count on it. So yeah, okay, that's pretty interesting. I think this isn't like gonna dominate, but it has some potential, and especially in terms of just controlling the flow of the game in weird ways. There's some potential there. So yeah, I'll look forward to trying out. This is Unavailable Knapsack Larongar with Star Alliance Decent Untamed. I hope you enjoyed it and have a great day. Keep on forging.